is Benjamin Okeze Kalu, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umimenyi, Uzita, and Bende. Mr. Speaker,
he's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents.
Joining me now on the political segment is Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who's the spokesman of the House of Representatives.
Ben Kalu's mandate gives you first-hand information on the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as well as his position on national issues. Ben Kalu's mandate.
The member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency is also the chairman of the House Committee on Media and Publicity, the spokesperson of the House. Bridging the gap between the Parliament and the people is Ben Kalu's mandate. Welcome to another edition in the month of June. My name is Michael Oni, and this program runs on Flow 94.9 FM, both on the terrestrial platforms and also the online platforms, and also on Vision Africa 104.1 FM. Later on, Umahia Real 99.1 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, ABN Online Radio and TV. Well, both chambers of the 9th National Assembly were inaugurated separately on Tuesday, the 11th of June 2019, which was Friday last week. It was 2 years. June 11 marked the halfway line and the journey of the 9th National Assembly of the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, and the House introduced the legislative agenda shortly after its inauguration, detailing what the lawmakers planned to focus their legislative resources on. And the areas of focus of the agenda include security, education, health, budget reform, economy, job creation, media, and internally displaced persons. Well, so let's break it down. It means Honorable Benjamin Kalu of Bende Federal Constituency has been occupying that seat, representing his people for 2 years and 4 days. So today on Ben Kalu's mandate, it's the people's edition. Representative Benjamin Kalu is taking a back seat, and we are doing an assessment of his representation. When I say an assessment, I mean my guest in the studio and you from Bende Federal Constituency and Abia State. As a state, your honest assessment is required, as it will be put together for future direction. From the roles of the lawmakers at the National Assembly, like some general functions of the committee, the initiations and consideration of bills, oversight functions, oversight of the executive constituency representation, investigating government policy initiatives, and reviewing and approving government budget and expenditure. We will be looking at these points. Of course, in respect to Representative Benjamin Kalu's representation. Well, this morning, the People's Edition of Ben Kalu's mandate, we will be having Professor Victor Okaugo of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, a professor of history and international studies. Later on, we will be talking to a stakeholder from Bende, Chief Daniel Aquari. And of course, I have in the studio with me, let's begin the conversation with the Director General of the Ben Kalu's Foundation, Ima Eke. Glad to have you join us. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate.
Thank you. Very good people of Bende, my people of Abia State, and the gentleman in the studio. Thank you very much.
Well, it's 2 years and counting. Let's speak on the impact of Representative Benjamin Kalu's, of course, his impact for the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. It will be like saying you should assess yourself if I should ask you, are you comfortable with his representation? But have you I'm talking about Bende Federal Constituency now.
Yes.
Has the Federal Constituency had it this good compared to what has happened in the past?
Bende Federal Constituency has never had it so good.
Okay.
We've had very impactful representation from our principal, Honorable Benjamin Kalu. I say that with all sense of modesty, and I say it with facts and figures. It's been wonderful having him as our representative in the last 2 years. He has changed a lot of narratives in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of empowerment, in terms of people representation. You know, just like you said when you were doing the intro, he has the legislative function, the oversight function, and you have the people representation. I mean, the people element in his representation. And in all the 3 levels of representations, he has acquitted himself so very well. And facts on ground justifies what I've said.
Okay, let's be very specific. Facts on ground. I will be very specific now.
Yes.
Let us into those facts.
Okay. The first thing he did, October 1, 2019, was to do the first ever undergraduate bursary in Bende local government, in Bende Federal
You call it first ever?
First ever, yes. There's not been anything like that before now. Before then, before the October 1st, 2019, no representative in the Bende Federal constituency has given student bursary. 400 students, 1st October. He said 1st October will not come and pass.
Bursary of how much?
20,000 per student. 400 students.
Student from Bende
Federal constituency. That was a landmark. And subsequently, the first and the most modern health center in Talako Itumbu's award was commenced, and that is about 90% completed. It's going to be furnished. Why I said the most modern health center, there's nothing like it in terms of complex, in terms of the infrastructure and the conception. There's nothing like it in Bende Federal constituency. That was also followed by empowerment on the 22nd of December and on the 29th of December of 2019. Empowerment.
Okay. Break it down. When you say empowerment, you know, empowerment might mean a lot of things. So I would like you to break it down for us.
Some people got welding machine. Welding for welders, the people who couple irons and all that. They were given welding machines. Some people were given pumping machines to enable them engage in agricultural irrigations and all that. Some other people got hairdressing equipment. Babas got baba equipment and all that. And then we had sewing machines were given to people who have grinders for domestic and commercial use. We also given to people. That was the first that happened on the 22nd of December. And then on the 29th of December, a large-scale form of disempowerment again. Some of the motorcycles, the food items, and wrappers and money were given. Every other item, like the ones I enumerated before, like welding machines, grinding machines, this is to engage the use of the Bende Federal constituency so that we don't have race stiffness amongst our youths in Bende local government. This has been going on. And part of what was done, I'm just trying to give you a resume.
Okay.
Yes, of what has happened. You know, in terms of road infrastructure, for the first time again, he secured a 12 billion naira road contract for Umuahia Bende on Hafia Road. And if you know the road very well, you know it takes you like 1 hour 30 minutes to get to Bende from Umuahia because of the bad state of the road. And it was of great concern because there were erosions trying to cut the road into half. By his considerable engagement with the Minister of Works, Fashola, he was able to get that road awarded. Last December, they did what I may call palliative to get the road up and running, that you can do Bende in less than 30 minutes from Umuahia now, instead of 1 hour 30 minutes before then. That is just palliative on that road, but the main construction will start. And we're praying that we'll have enough money to fund capital projects this year, so that by December...
No, I was going to ask you, capital projects embarked upon by a lawmaker, is that not moving away from the basic of what he is meant to do at the National Assembly?
Yes, good question. You know, we are in a situation where we have what we call the new normal. New normal, where you're facing challenges, in your locality, and the state government is incapacitated by reason of resources doing all that. So you go out of your way to do things that are not normal, because the work of a legislator is purely lawmaking and oversight function. But now you see legislators struggling to also impact the environment by attracting projects and using what they can by lobbying, by persuasion and all that, public relations, to bring things to happen in their locality. And that has been happening, and Benjamin Kalu has used his wherewithal to ensure that such things do not elude his federal constituency. So that's why he went into capital project development.
Okay, and where is the money coming from?
Yes, actually the money is coming from the federal government. But if you don't know what to do, you miss it. That goes to show that the mandate of being the people bestowed on him, the trust they reposed in him, was not misplaced, because he's been thinking outside the box and doing things that are not normal to achieve results.
Interesting. It is Ben Kalu's mandate, and of course the people's edition of the program, of course, Representative Benjamin Kalu, who represents the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the National Assembly. He speaks for the National Assembly, so we're blessed right here. He's the official spokesperson of the National Assembly, of the House of Representatives, rather. He speaks officially for the House of Representatives. That's the lower chamber of the National Assembly. And of course, it means we're blessed. And today is People's Edition because we're taking a look at his representation at the National Assembly. It's 2 years now, and counting. June 12 marked the halfway line and the journey of Representative Benjamin Kalu for the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I have been speaking with Ima Eke, the Director General of the Foundation, and we've been speaking on some of those capital intensive projects, I call it, that he embarked on. You started with the bursary, then you went on to the empowerment, down to some other issues. Now, I understand there is a program he does, I think every year, where he gives back to the community, gives back to the people of Bende Federal Constituency. Is it also on his representation, or it is in line with the foundation? And I'm just trying to see the relationship between the foundation and his representation now.
Okay, so prior to his election into the Federal House of Representatives, in fact, this has gone on for more than 22 years. He started his foundation, and in that he takes care of the widows, the less privileged members of the society, because 29 December is a significant date for him. He wedded on the 29th of December. The mother passed on the 29th of December, and the wife's birthday is also on the 29th of December. So it's a very significant date for him. So he decided to choose it because of the passion the mother had on helping people. He decided to use that day to commemorate these events in his life, these historic events in his life, and then also to now use it as a platform to take care of the widows. He's done that for 22 years. Take care of the less privileged. So every year he does this program. Now what has happened is that the number of people that are involved or benefit from this program had increased tremendously because of his since his election. Instead of just doing for hundreds people, at least the empowerment we did last time covered over 500 people, 800. The last December was about 800, because if you look at the pictorial, you will see more than 10,000 bags of rice, and sewing machine. We bought about 250 sewing machines. We bought about
tricycle.
We gave to all the ward chairmen in the federal constituency. It has never happened before. And motorcycles were given. This is not the first time.
We don't follow up on some of these things.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's
you're
what
giving out.
Yes,
follow up in the sense that are they used rightly?
Yeah.
Empowering people, and at the end of the day they've still come back for more empowerment if they are not being used rightly.
Yes, you have to do what you have to do as a person, and you have to talk to the people you are doing it for. It's not all the time that you have the best. Even the story of the people that their master gave talents in the Bible, one hid it and said, I know this my master, he's very stingy, he's going to ask for things he didn't have, and so he buried it. Some people put it in good use and multiply the capital. So some of them are doing so well with it. Some of them, like the man that got the talent and hid it, may not do very well with it. But what we're looking at is that we keep records of everybody that has gotten what.
Okay.
And until it goes round, we don't just come pampering you because we want to pamper you. We want to equip you so that you can multiply the results you've been given and put it into good use. So
I'm going to throw the lines open early. Some of those things you've mentioned this morning, let the people react. If they are not true, we want your honest assessment of Representative Benjamin Kalu, 2 years and counting. Of course, it will definitely help him in future direction, as he represents the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. He also speaks for the House of Representatives, and of course we're going to look at some of the bills and the motions raised by him and his achievements. That will be later on the program this morning. And let me see, we're trying to get across to Professor Ukaugo this morning, but moving to some projects now, like water. I understand he's been able to provide a borehole, call it borehole, to some communities. Can you let us into that this morning?
In Ugumpa, Umimeni ward, we gave the people of Ugumpa solar powered borehole, the first of its kind, and that's what they've been using.
The first of its kind?
Yes.
Are you sure of these things you're saying?
I'm saying it on air.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it on air. The people are there, they are free to contradict me if they think it's a lie. The people of Ugumpa is using that solar borehole as we speak. There's one we're doing in Ozitem.
Okay.
Yeah, but the first site, they couldn't get good water, so they moved to another site. By the mountain, I'm sure they will have clean water, solar borehole.
You did mention earlier on that Bende has never had it this good.
Yes.
Why that statement?
Yes, because there's been people who represented Bende, and they may just point at stores in the market, few stores in the market, and it wasn't for 4 years, it wasn't for 8 years, it was as long as 12 years. And we've not had Mike, I need to tell you that we have classroom blocks, new classroom blocks done all across some walls in Bende. In Ibere, for instance, we have a new classroom block. In Ibere, the Uchebri Hall that was abandoned for more than 10 years was taken up and renovated by Ben. In fact, we're going to put ceiling and then we'll go into electrical and painting very soon. That is that. And then in Uzoakole, we've completed a new classroom block in Obebia.
Okay.
In Itumbuzo, we've done a new classroom block and supplied them with furniture, give out education, study materials, learning materials to them. And this is replicated in so many other wards. In Okaitem, for instance, there's a new classroom block that just sprang up, courtesy of Honorable Benjamin Kalu. And just last Friday, lest I forget, we enrolled 302 people into the National Health Insurance Scheme in Bende Federal Constituency.
Okay.
And we'll have 108 to complete it 500. I am just waiting for them to give me the forms so that I can distribute it proportionately to some segments of the constituency.
All right, it's the People's Edition of Ben Kalu's Mandate. Of course, joining us this morning is a stakeholder from Bende, Chief Daniel Akwari. Chief, good morning to you. Welcome to Ben Kalu's Mandate.
Morning to you, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It is time to do a scorecard, more like assessing what Representative Benjamin Kalu has done for the past 2 years for the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. Are you satisfied with what is on ground, or do you want more, or do you think he should, block some holes?
Well, I'll answer you in two phrases. One, I'm satisfied. Then the second answer is like Oliver Twist, we still ask for more. I'm satisfied in many reasons. Because our primary reason for sending him to Abuja was just for legislative businesses, and which, from my calculation and from where I stand, he has exceeded what we sent him to go and do in Abuja. Primarily, we sent him to go and do three things: representative functions, lawmaking, and oversight. These are the things he has done with ease and has even added more. So, like I said, when we say we're asking for more, we should, of us, as a human being, because human beings are insatiable. But if you want to assess him based on the 2 years so far he has done, I think he has done more than enough. Because I must tell you, before this time around, we, the people of Bende, were used to reading the book of Lamentation. But ever since we sent Benjamin to Abuja, we now read the book of Psalms. I must tell you, our narrative has changed. He is one person, like my late uncle would say, in Igbo Palace we say, Anana Bebe Yana Bangri. So my uncle was asked to translate this, what it means. My uncle said that it means animal the hunter, proceed the eating. So Benjamin Kalu has turned to be what my uncle would say, animal the hunter, proceed the eating. He has exceeded what we sent him to go and do in Abuja.
Well, you say he has exceeded what you sent him to go do in Abuja. Are you saying those that represented the federal constituency didn't do anything in the past?
Well, if I may take you on that, I will tell you that in the past, we've had to deal with or contend with people who I may call they are rumbling, rabble rousers, who is vocally gifted but mentally destitute when it comes to providing democratic dividends to the people of Bende. And I say this thing with all reservations, because this time we are so lucky to have all this in one person, in the name of Benjamin Kalu, who is not only vocally gifted but also mentally mobile to meet the needs of his constituency.
So I want us to be very specific now. Some projects that he attracted and some projects capital intensive that he sponsored, they've been highlighted by Ima AK very much in the studio. Are you saying that the same things weren't done during the past administration in the federal constituency?
Well, like I said, it should be on record that Benjamin Kalu was the historical mover of the first bill of 9th Assembly. It is on record. Nobody will take that away from him as a first timer. And before then, like I tell you, he kickstarted, he hit the ground running with over 400 student bursary. That was on the 1st of October 2009. And there has been a revolution when it comes to renovating of primary schools. There has been a revolution when it comes to ecological projects in Bende. Okay. There has been a revolution when it comes to providing borehole waters. There has been a revolution when it comes to agricultural training, school fiestas. He has been there for the widows in terms of granting them what we call a trader's a grant. In terms of healthcare, I never knew before this time, I must be honest with you, Oni, I never knew that the legislative can do these things. We just to hear he's our representative, but this is somebody who's not just doing the three things, and when I mean three things, that is the representative, lawmaking, oversighting. He's now doing the work of the executive, which is alien, is very foreign, as far as we are concerned. And sometime in the past, I described him as Oderofon, which means it's something that is brand new, it's alien and foreign to us.
Okay, I'm going to take you on a very, I won't call it awkward. Some persons, he's a member of the opposition at the state level, a member of the APC, and some persons always chastising him, saying, you don't come out to speak against the present administration in Abia State. You don't come vocal and say, I condemn this, I speak against this. I don't like what you are doing. What do you make of that?
Well, Benjamin Kalu, as far as I'm concerned, has become an institution. It's like a book. If you don't read it, you will not understand the full content. Some people who see him from the periphery will jump into such conclusion. But if you know Benjamin Kalu, we know him that he's somebody who does his own things with a style. He don't join the rat race. He goes at his pace. And he don't just join issues. He is very calculative. He is, when I mean calculative, you can call him what I may call, he is not just a calculative. This is somebody you will say that, which language will I employ here to describe this man very well? This is somebody, when he handles issues, he handles it differently. He does his own things with elegance. So joining issues with people is not his kind of person. He has been very vocal. He has been very, very vocal in national issues and state matters, as well as local government matters. Those who are saying that are those people that I will call, they are anti-Benjamin Kalu's apostles, who has all this while run out of propaganda. They've run out of propaganda. He is this one person that don't mix words, and if you know him very well, he's somebody who don't do things in halves. He don't do things. He has been very vocal.
Okay, let me very specific, Chief, this morning. Now, what most of those people are saying is that we want a situation where the representative calls out maybe the governor on certain issues. For example, salary payment. Call out the governor in different fora, especially the fact that he's a speaker of the House of Representatives, and of course saying, hey, you didn't do this, and the kind of politics we play in Nigeria, where you push people to the wall, you throw words at people in position of power. Some persons say if you do that, it might yield positive results, especially if opposition is on the brink of course, on the verge of pushing the ruling party to doing such. It puts them on their toe. So we've not seen, they're saying we've not seen much from Representative Benjamin Kalu in that aspect, saying he should come out and be vocal on certain issues like that.
Well, like I said, everybody is entitled to his own opinion. If you know Benjamin Kalu very well, he has a long relationship with the governor. I think the genesis of their relationship started sometime when they were local government chairperson. I think that should be the genesis of their relationship, and they still maintain the relationship up until now. They have various ways they communicate to each other, and I must tell you, it is one of the governor's highest critics. They do this. It may not be necessary with the way the people may expect for him to be either on the television or newspaper or whatever. They have a channel where they reach themselves, and quote me, like I say, it is the governor's greatest critic. He advises him. They talk to each other like friends and brothers. The main thing is that he gives credit where it is credited, and at the same time he don't fail to portion blames where they are due. If you know Ben Kalu very well, people expecting him to do what they think. That is, like I said, different people with different strokes. He has a special way of handling these things, and they are yielding a whole lot of results to the people. But like I said, people differs. The way you may handle things, Michael, may be different from the way I may handle things. He has a channel that he talks to the governor, and they talk to themselves, and you see the result. But where the people are disappointed, maybe they think that he will be maybe carrying this placard. He may be carrying the placard and then a lead from the front to be saying this or that. The one he is doing behind the scene is even more than what the people expect.
All right. Chief, I want to really appreciate your time this morning on Ben Kalu's mandate. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts on Ben Kalu's representation for the past 2 years. We do appreciate you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having me.
Thank you very much. Well, Chief Daniel Aquarif, a stakeholder from Bender, and of course it's still Ben Kalu's mandate, People's Edition. You can share your thoughts, drop your comments on our Facebook page, Flow 949 FM. Don't forget this program is also live on ABN Online Radio and TV, and also it is on Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real 99.1 FM, and Family Love 99.9 FM. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. I'm going to reach to Professor Okaogo very soon on the program. But what do you make of Representative Benjamin Kalu's representation for the past 2 years and counting? Of course, he clocked 2 years on that seat on Friday. It was Friday last week being June 11. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
I'm AGK Frank. I'm calling from the local government area.
You're welcome, AGK.
Yeah, I want to contribute on that Honorable Benjamin Kalu is an answer to the people. As Honorable Benjamin Kalu, then the local government, then the federal constituency has seen a great turn around in the positive aspects.
Hello.
Constituency.
Okay.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yes, go on, please.
I said his project across his constituency is quite impressive. His 2 years in office is telling us that he has a brighter future and he has a great love for the people. So, over time, then the federal constituency has been mal-represented, and let me say underrepresented, because we've not seen this kind of representation before. And before, we don't know that representatives, House of Rep members do build roads. It is in this system that we see construction of roads. Even the attraction of the whooping 12 billion road in Umuahia Bende Road. We've not seen such thing before.
So are you comfortable with what you've seen so far?
I think that Benjamin Kalu is an answered prayer and he's doing well in his representation.
All right. Thank you
Let
for
me
sharing.
come to my present word.
Okay, quickly.
Benjamin Kalu has constructed a borehole, solar-powered borehole in my ward. Also in my ward, he has renovated a 3-classroom block and built in a library in the same school. He has distributed also sewing machines to my ward members. And he also gave many things to us. And speaking, I'm also one of the beneficiaries of his bursary allowance in 2019. I was one of the beneficiaries.
All right.
So
thank you
I
for
can say that
sharing your
well.
thoughts with
Let
us.
the good work
Let's
continue.
get others on the phone lines. We're going to reach Professor Okaogo very soon, a professor of history at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello. Good morning, Michael.
Yes, you're welcome.
This is Opana Kaluganda, from Bende.
All right.
I've been listening to your conversation with other members about Benjamin Kalu.
Yes.
That I know as Benjamin Kalu is a God-sent person. I never knew that representatives could be, so concerned about people who are suffering in the rural areas. Over the years, we had them, there was no impact. They created on the people. There are so many representative people that we are also possessed by representatives, we are not executives. But I'm not asking, is Benjamin Kalu a executive? It's only a representative, speaking for all of us and for our betterment. We are doing so well. I am from Bolivia. We have a 2-classroom block here. Built. I hear the Bakwari talking. It's in my own house, in my own community. We are also a leader of the community. We are built 2 classroom blocks, painted, electrified.
Okay, just a moment. I want to confirm something this morning. Ben Kalu says he has built school in Obobia. Can you confirm that for us? Is it true?
I am confirming right here now. He knows me too. I am the founder of APC in Chumbozo. The maiden chairman of APC in Chumbozo. In my own house, my own village, he built Obobia. He built a school here. 2 classroom blocks. He has 6. In short, he equipped the school. everything needed. Desk, chairs, tables, books, and everything needed for a school.
All right.
All intact.
Thank you for
Then
sharing your thoughts with us.
I've been trying to build a health center of a first class.
All
We have been
right.
so magnificent.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's get others on the lines now. The lines are really buzzing. We need to take.
Hello, good morning.
Of course. Yes, glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Von Budara. I'm from Bende. I'm from Uzakoli, but I'm calling from Lagos.
All the way from Lagos.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
welcome.
I joined into the online platform.
All right.
Well, I want to sincerely appreciate our constitutional rep, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu. You know, in the last 2 years, we've not had it like this before. Then the federal constituency has been in an administration and representation where we are being regarded as subjects, where we are perceived to be only good for cassava seeds, empowerment, and all manner of crude empowerment. But Benjamin Kalu came and said, no, we need to go towards the infrastructural revolution. We need to reorient our youth. We need to concentrate our people, and we need to queue back to the center. Indeed, when they have queued back to the center, and the dividends of the democracy, the decision, Lili and rest of Ndebe they took in the 2019 election is beginning to yield fruit. We are beginning to reap from our collective efforts. And so far, so good. I think we have outperformed various representatives that must have come from that community or constituency per se. Nevertheless, we are not going to tell him to relent. We are not going to tell him to stop. But we appeal to him to continue to give us quality representation, the large voice in the center.
All right.
This is now benefiting all and sundry. And I want to also appreciate your session for having kept this program lively, for having kept this program professional. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate you all the way from Lagos. Glad to have you join us so that they didn't pull through. Let's run through the messages now. More grease to Ben Kalu's elbow. He should be emulated by other representatives. Kanu Zomba. This one says, I'm Mohammed Bashir. I'm listening from Zamfara State. The people of Ben, the federal constituency, are lucky to have Honorable Benjamin Kalu as their representative. They should pray for him and support for him to do more, because I never doubted his competence. For me, I am just for the day he will contest as the president. I am saying this from my heart, not my lips. Thank you very much for sending your message from Zamfara State. Glad to have you join us. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Emin. I'm coming from Mobiling Fasini, Shalanga.
You're welcome.
Let me first of all thank Honorable Benjamin Kalu. Well, I'm not from the federal constituency, but
Okay.
I am hearing the good thing he's doing for the good people of Bende. So let me use this great opportunity to inform all Bende citizens to always support Benjamin Kalu. I have seen him so many times, but I also want him to look at the problems that the disability is having in our state in general. Sometimes we don't come to people because of you want to get them money, but let him use that good thing he has been doing for the good people of Bende. And remember the National Association of Persons with Disability at their state general page, because I know he's a good man. I know that he has that heart of doing good. So let him remember the general page people, and God will bless.
All right, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Keep those calls coming. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Professor Victor Ukaugo is joining us now, a professor of history and international studies from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Of course, he is from the federal constituency. He's from Ozuite. And Professor, glad to have you join us on Ben Kalu's mandate.
Thank you so very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Now, what's your assessment of Representative Benjamin Kalu? It's 2 years and counting, 2 years, 4 days.
Well, thank you once again. I just want to say that Honorable Benjamin Kalu has probably done so very well for these last 2 years, given the track record seems to have set these past 2 years. For instance, within the 2 years under review, you will agree with me that he is a first timer, you know, and he began his representation with a letter to Independent, where he actually won the election. So, but in all seriousness, I think Benjamin Kalu has actually demystified political representation in Benin, because with the finesse which he brought to bear in governance, especially at the grassroots, I believe he has done so very well. For instance, let me also take you to a few things that he has done. The records, history will record it for him. But he was within these first 2 years, he was the very first person that moved motion of the 9th Assembly. You know, was the very first person, and what he said at that presentation was so very impactful. He presented issues concerning ecological challenges of Bende that he represents, and of course, this has yielded fruit because in Paumui, government has decided to provide something for the construction or control of erosion in that part of Bende federal constituency. Now, of course, you know by 2020 he had already presented the bill for the establishment of the College of Education in Bende, as well as Federal College of Land Resources Technology in Igbere. Them in Bende federal constituency. Now,
you're forgetting the immigration office.
Now, of course, the immigration office is right there for everybody to see. It's under construction. Let me give you an idea. Within the very first year, he presented 15 motions and over 40 bills, and it's still counting. For most of us that will not know, Benjamin Kalu is a first timer and a next member of the All Progressive Congress, that is the APC. He established the very first ever magazine of the house, which is Christian, the Green Chamber magazine. Let me give you an idea in terms of what he has done within the context of education. That's what he called Education Support Project.
Education Support Project.
Yes, Education Support Project. We have bursaries, we are paid, we're giving to over 400 students at the tertiary level throughout Bende. Of course, through his pet child, Benjamin Kalu Foundation, this was done. There was also the Education Fiesta for 20 secondary school students in Bende, the 20 secondary schools in Bende Federal Constituency, where the students were able to showcase their talent in a number of areas. He also collaborated with the National Institute for Cultural Organization, NICO, for the students of Bende, secondary school students of Bende. You know, our people do not want to actually appreciate proper representation. I mean, represent people, you come back and tell them what you have done in representing them. That was why in his 180 days in office, Benjamin Kalu held a town hall meeting where he gave out so many things to the constituents, including motorbikes, wrappers, sewing machines, and all of that. He has also been able to impact on the generality of people, especially the youth, when he organized skill acquisition program in collaboration with, if you remember, Proda. In that program, he provided generators, motorbikes also, clippers, food items, etc. distributed to youths and women in the Bende Federal Constituency. For those of us that know Tala Wonder Bende Federal Constituency, where there is nothing like a healthcare system, he has constructed, as we speak this very morning, in Talaku Health Center, brand new for that community. community.
From Kalago.
He was also, yes, in Kalago. He had built a brand new health center for Kalago people. And now, before the removal of Joy Nune, the NDDC MD, Benjamin Kalu, the honorable member representing Bende Federal Constituency, brought her to Bende constituency, visited Bende, wherein she inspected quite a number of communities and areas of need for the federal constituency. And her visit yielded credible dividends. And of course, we know what happened last year with the coronavirus. And Benjamin Kalu was able to set up a task force of over 30 people. And these 30 people were trained by the Federal Medical Center in Umuahia. They were sent out to all the wards in the federal constituency, distributing, telling them how to stay safe, giving them sanitizers and all of that. You know, and for many people that believe that being of APC, you'll be antagonizing the state government, that is not true. Part of the relationship that we have now see, because Benjamin Kalu supports the state government in doing a few things that they have done at the federal level. So that's why I use the word that he has dignified political representation with the finesse that he brought to bear on governance, especially at the grassroots. And it is important for us to know that he is very vocal and very respectful and has mustered tremendous political will to confront not just governance, but leadership challenges that people felt cannot be overcome before now. You know, it has been very usual for our representatives before now to perch forever on their high horses. You know, but for Benjamin Kalu, the high horse, I believe so much, holds no attraction for him. He has identified with his constituents so very much by delivering those dividends that they have so much asked for long before now. If you know, I'm sure you know Bende very well, from Umuahia to Bende and what have been, you know, he has been able to attract quite federal intervention along that route of over 12 billion. That the money, 12 billion, should be the highest federal intervention in the entire Southeast. It has never been done before. And the Bende Tumbuza road, he also effected some measure of kilometers along that road, and it's still under construction. Quite a number of communities have benefited from transformer provision of transformers. For instance, in Item, the part of Item, and a part of Ojit have also gained the provision, it is still ongoing now, provision of pipe on water, construction of so all of these put together will make us know that the young man representing the Federal House is not in the slightest thinking, sleeping on duty. He is actually working hard, because as of now he has done over 40 bills, several motions, and the issue of Bende is very dear to him.
Okay, Professor Victor Kaugo, as an academician, I'm going to ask you this. He has an ideology of not attacking the government in power. You know, says he tells me severally, say, Michael, I don't go like that. You know, I'm not going to hit the present, the administration, maybe the governor or those in power at the state level. Being a member of the opposition at the state level, what do you make of that ideology as an academician?
You know, it's not that he's afraid to do that. But of course, everybody in a position of authority is expected to try to strike a harmonious type of relationship with his colleagues and even people that oppose to him. You know, so I think basically he should be looking at building harmonious relationship for the purposes of creating synergy between the opposition, as it were, opposition and the government, so that it will not be that he's at the center of why his people are being marginalized, if you like. But be that as it may, it's not totally when you criticize every good or every bad work that the opponent has done that will make you an opposition. It is for me so far better for him to appreciate the very good things that the state government has done and also guide them aright as to what they have not done right. That explains why, if there are things that the state will miss out in Abuja, if you check on records, the government will tell you in Umuahia that he's the person that brings it to the notice of the government at Umuahia. So doing that to help the state means that he wants to use his position to help the state, not critically opposing the state or not telling the state, showing the state that he's at the center, and for that can weigh them down. So collaborative governance for him should be the way to go, and that will probably yield more dividends of democracy for all people involved.
All right, Professor Victor Kaugo, Professor of History and International Studies, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He's also from the Federal Constituency, of course, Bende Federal Constituency, from Ozuitem. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor Victor.
Thank you so much.
We do appreciate you. All right, let's move on. We're going to entertain more calls. Professor had time to expatiate on some of those project embarked upon by Representative Benjamin Kalu. So you can call, let's talk. If you have a different opinion, you want to contest some of those things that were reviewed by Professor, you can also call and say, well, it is not true. Either if it is true, then you call and say it is true, we have this project in our community as attracted by Honorable Benjamin Kalu. And also you can also share your thoughts for the future and future direction. It's very important. All these will be put together and of course forwarded to Representative Benjamin Kalu. It's the People's Edition of the program Ben Kalu's Mandate. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Glad to have you join us. Yes, you're live on radio. What's your name? Can you change your location so that we can have better reception, please? All right, let's move on. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello. Good morning, sir. My name is Sunday Willie. I'm from the Kononogo government area.
You're welcome.
Sunday Willie from the Kononogo government area.
Okay, go on with your contribution, please.
Yeah, my contribution is about this Udon Teno. I thank Udon for what he has done.
Okay.
But the problem,
just a minute. Are you sure you're not calling the wrong? Anyways, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Anyways, glad to have you join us. Welcome.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My beautiful name is Oliver Bravo. Oliver Bravo is calling you from Nice Autonomous Community. You talk about the Asian Kingdom, isn't it?
You're welcome, Oliver Bravo.
Thank you very much. I'm not an Abian, but I want to extend my greetings to Ben Kano for his gesture, coming out on air and telling his aides to come and defend him, and that's what we do with what we want, with what we want. Let others emulate. Where is including Judge? Let them come to on air and tell people what they are doing, how they are representing their people. Let Judge come on air and tell people how they are representing people. Just like Cousin Okali used to come with that part of things. Let them come and tell us how they are representing us, because we voted for them under rain, under sun, and there is something that they used to call constituency budget or something like that. Let them come and tell us how they got this constituency fund, how they are implementing it. That's just like Ben Kano is doing. Honorable Ben Kano is doing well. I want to commend you people. Let other people come. In Imo State, let Rochas of Costa come as a senator. Let them come out as they are representing us. Let them come on air and tell us how they are representing us.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
I want to appreciate you. Thank you very much. Bravo is my name.
All right. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Jack Magrat.
All right.
I'm from Afghanistan.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to appreciate our representative, Mr. Benjamin Kano. He's doing well. He's making us well in the federal constituency. So my thing is that we need to remember our people. I can't even please.
Okay.
We are in need of.
You're in need of what, please?
We are in need of we need him to come and innovate our primary school.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing that with us. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
Comrade Azuna Ojimei.
All right.
I want to commend our honorable member for representing us well, doing his best. But I want to remind him of that of Ojimei Bridge. The people now cannot come out because of that bridge. Already have promised us that he will do something about it, that he has captured it by federal government. Okay. So the people are suffering.
All right. Amoji Imeyi Bridge. Ima Eke.
Yes. One of the things we did quite early, that was about July of 2019. In fact, that road was supposed to, the road leading to Mkpa, taking care of that, that will take care of Eme Bridge. Was one of the roads that were captured, and a consultant came from the presidency, after much persuasion by Honorable Benjamin Kalu. The presidency sent a consultant to come and look at it, and it was caged. That road extended to Amoji Meni, and in fact last February another consultant was sent to come and review based on the intervention the presidency wanted to make in that place. And in fact, the budget, I understand, is about 1.3 billion naira to fix that road and the bridges. And it came with 11-kilometer road that will cover Mkpa community and Amoji Meni. That road, that bridge has been factored in, even though the state or the local government tried to do something there. But a solution has not been found. I am believing that once the rents give way, and there is enough fund to fund that particular project, we've taken care of it.
All right. Ben Kalu has been very proactive in his unwavering representation of Bende Federal Constituency. I applaud his doggedness and commitment in bringing the dividend of democracy to Bende people. I am not from Bende, but I appreciate his tremendous political prowess, and I enjoy other representatives to emulate him. Chinedu from Umunochi local government. Good morning, presenter. I pray all they said about Ben Kalu is true. God help us in this country. Osinachi from Amachara. Good morning, Honorable. This is Uchechukwu Chikeze from Akolime. My Honorable, please, Akolime Community Secondary School is lacking laboratory equipment. Please help us. Right. Honorable Ben Kalu, good day. What are you saying about military invasion? That will be taken care of hopefully next week. We've done that. All right, those are the messages. We want to really appreciate you for joining us this week on this edition, People's Edition of Ben Kalu's Mandate. We do appreciate you, Ima Eke, the Director General of Ben Kalu's Foundation. Thank you very much for gracing the studio live.
Thank you, Mike. It's an honor to be here to represent my principal. All
right, many thanks to Professor Victor Okaugo, who joined us from Nsukka, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He's a professor of history and international studies, and also Chief Daniel Akwari, stakeholder from Bende. Thank you very much for joining us. The program returns next week. My name is Michael.